Yo, what's happening, Cucumber Squad? Welcome back to the Fable Sphere. I'm back. It's been a while. I know it's been like 9 or 10 days. I'm not entirely sure. This is probably the longest I've been away from YouTube, but yeah, it was the festive season. Had a lot of personal things to do. I also have my business that I run on the side. That is my primary source of income. YouTube is not my primary source of income. Do benefit from YouTube in a very small way monetarily, but not enough to put bread on the table. So I obviously need to focus on my primary source of income and my family, specifically over the festive season, New Year's. Happy New Year, by the way. 2022 going to be a great year. I feel it's going to be a great year. I think that we've kind of like gone past the worst of this pandemic. I think people can now start recovering psychologically. I think people can start gaining a better mindset. As for the politicians and the mainstream media, well, we can't help those people, okay? But I can give you an advice: just stop listening to them. Right? That's the only thing you need to do. Stop listening to them, and 2022 is going to be fantastic. Right? So, 3 things before we even get started. Thing number 1, I ask you guys all the time, follow me on Instagram. The handle's over here somewhere. I'll highlight it over here. If you want to follow me, that's fine. If you don't want to follow me, that's also okay. Thing number 2, if you want me to react to anything, put it in the comment section down below. I have roadmapped 2022. I've got a list of reactions I'm going to do for you, and I'm going to bring you a lot of content. I'm only taking reaction requests from the comment section because it's just fair for everybody. Don't DM me requests because I'm not going to do them. It's very unfair because I do respond to DMs and you can't just skip the line like that. If it's not in the comment section, it's not going to be on my list. It's simple as that, and I think it just makes it fair for everybody. And thing number 3 is Frank. Right, you know Frank, the guy that writes all those amazing poets. He writes all those amazing little poetry pieces, those poetry pieces, and then I put in the comment section. Yeah, he's written a book. I'll give you more details of that in my next video when I kick off 2022 correctly. I just wanted to jump onto this over here, Zombified, man, by Falling in Reverse. It looks like Ronnie is now releasing an EP. Though it seems, or somebody has told me, I haven't really looked into it in depth, but I know that there is an EP. This one is called Zombified. Obviously there's a music video which already looks crazy, but you know it's Ronnie Radke, so his attention to detail is pretty psychotic all the times. So yeah, let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we got here. Falling in Reverse, Zombified, man. Very excited to hear this. We haven't heard from him for a while, so let's go. Great green screen work there. Like that dark type of ominous.
Zombified.
It's giving me some Blade Trinity type feel. Wesley Snipes, what was it called? Daywalker, Nightwalker, or Daywalker, I think it was called.
The monsters are living under your bed, cause they are the voices in your head.
Hey!
Zombified by the lies they said, we become the walking dead.
Okay. I can kind of see where he's going over here. Also, where the censored, he's like, shh, you're not allowed to say anything, right? I also really like the riffs on this. It's actually pretty amazing.
Become the walking dead. Everybody's talking edge. Oh no, they'll never let go. Something you said 10 years ago.
Hey.
Canceling you. And they won't stop till everybody's zombified.
You know Ronnie Radke and those fucking drops, bro. It's a typical falling in reverse sound, a typical Ronnie Radke type sound. He's got a particular type of recipe that is just so fucking insane, man. He's so good at sort of building up a track, right? Giving you those pauses, giving you those breathers, right? Building it up and then obviously just dropping the anvil. You know what I mean? It's absolutely sick. It's the one thing I absolutely love about Ronnie Radke. Because when it comes to like metal type music or rock type music, sometimes I find it to be a little bit too much. Like I find it like it's just too much screaming, it's too noisy, it's too loud and things like that. But Ronnie Radke's got a really cool recipe of it. He actually makes it so sonically pleasing with the way he constructs it, because it takes you on a journey, right? It's got all of these parts where it's like the calm, it's the suspense, it's the lifting you up, it's the dropping you off, it's the picking you up again later. That's what Ronnie Radke does, that I find his music so easy to listen to, right? So, and I'm not big on the rock and metal type vibe. I don't usually have those kind of things on my playlist, but make no fucking mistake, I've got Falling in Reverse on my playlist. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I need you to give me that fucking drop again, bro.
Something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you, and they won't stop till everybody's zombified. They're bumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde.
Come on, bro.
Let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're hypnotized.
Oh my god.
They won't stop till you're zombified.
Sick, bro, sick.
You better shut your mouth and bite your tongue, cause you don't wanna piss off anyone.
Okay, so I mean, obviously the sound of this is absolutely fantastic. But if you're going to make a political song, specifically a rock political song, there seems to be a lot of rap, like political rap tracks at the moment. I feel like that's the kind of avenue that quite a few rappers pick to sort of get famous. Is the political stuff, which is fine, because I mean, I guess it is relevant. I guess that is what we're going through today, and everything today is political, right? So, sort of society and culture is downstream of politics, or politics is downstream of culture. So, it's somewhat intertwined, and far more intertwined now, specifically with the polarity and the polarizing type of nature of society that we live in at the moment. So what I like about the message of this song is it's dead on point, saying that that censorship is a big thing at the moment, which is quite sad for the Western world. You wouldn't expect that in the Western world, where freedom of speech is something that is just innately built into our constitution. It's something that we should have and not even have to feel threatened by it. But today it is like that. And the thing is that the way the mainstream media is pushing it at the moment, the way the mainstream media is trying to frame it, or the way politicians are trying to frame it, is that, no, you're not censored. Who's censoring you? And this is a very clever game if you just need to pay attention, right? Where they're like, who's censoring? No one's censoring you. You can say whatever you like. Yeah, sure you can say whatever you like, right? There's no laws in place to say that you can't say whatever you like. The First Amendment still stands strong. But you will get shunned from society, right? Your life as you know it will end. You will be fired for your opinions. You will be shunned from society. You will be defamed, right? You will be castigated into the ether for saying opinions. Now, we're not even talking about being blatantly racist or blatantly homophobic or say anything that's derogatory towards transgender people or anything like that. You're being censored for viewpoints. And it's come down to, if you're not in my camp, you're not in any camp, right? And that's the way it is. If you're not in my camp, you're in the camp of the devil. There is no tolerance anymore. There's nothing. It's all about, if you're not with me, you're against me. Doesn't matter that you don't share the same opinion, right? And I kind of feel like also what he said over here is that you could have said something 10 years ago and they'll cancel you for it. That reverse Nostradamus seems to be one of those like erroneous things about progressivism at the moment, where it's like, yeah, you should have known when you were 15 to not do dumb things when you literally literally didn't have the capacity to even know. Right? You learn as you go along. That's why 20-year-olds and teenagers do dumb shit, because they do not have a developed prefrontal cortex. You go through your teens and your 20s doing absolutely retarded things, and then when you get to your 30s, you're like, holy shit, like what the fuck was I doing? Right? But these progressives tend to think that, oh no, you should have always been saint. They are saints, it seems. Right? It seems that, they're preaching from their ivory towers and they're looking down on you as if they've done nothing. But then you know what? They are the worst of the sinners. All they're doing is they're trying to deflect it, saying, look at him, don't look at me. Because I've sinned, but don't look at me. Look at that guy. Look at that guy who has opinions that I'm not aware of. But that's the society we're living in, man. We're actually shutting down and silencing intelligent people that offer a lot to the world, in order to not offend the village idiot. And that's the truth. So no, there's no laws on the censorship. There's no laws on your freedom of speech yet. But you can see that the technocrats and a lot of companies are just inadvertently censoring you for just a difference of opinion. Depends what side of the camp you're on, because they also have a lot of tolerance for you even if you do wrong, even if you're completely irrational, even if you've sinned in major ways. But if they can use you as a tool, then we won't censor you or defame you just yet. But when you're no longer a tool, then we'll cost your son.
We're traumatized by the damage done. Welcome to America.
Sick.
To America.
Okay, so this over here, now this is a very profound picture over here. It's actually a very famous picture. I know it was. It was a very famous picture from World War II, where it was the soldiers that were lifting, sort of lifting and planting the American flag, right? That was a symbolism of bravery. That was a symbolism of people who had lost their lives to save the world from a tyrant, right? It was actually a beautiful moment that I think is now a statue. I'm not entirely sure. I think they did do a statue. I'm not entirely sure which states they're in, but this is a very prominent moment in American history. But this was the symbolism of brave people. And what they're doing at the moment, I love the fact that he's using the zombies to lift this up, is that it's who we're painting as brave today. Like, who are we, and who are we casting aside as not brave, right? Obviously, storming the beaches of Normandy, those people weren't brave, to save the world. They're no longer brave because they were part of a system. They were part of a system that was oppressive, and a system that was only beneficial to a certain class of people, and those people weren't brave, right? That's the picture that they're trying to paint today. But the people we are putting that we consider brave today are people that walk off the football field. NFL players that walk off the football field because they decide to have a tantrum, and they say, no, that's brave. Quitting's brave today. Quitting is brave in today's day and age. Quitting the Olympics because you're just not feeling it is brave in today's day and age. And I understand that there is some sort of mental health aspects to some of these stories, but not every story is a mental health story. And even so, what's brave is, even if you're not feeling it, even if you're struggling difficulties with mental health and things like that, finishing the race is always brave. Quitting, it's understandable for some reasons, but it's not something to be revered. We should not be revering people for being brave. We should not be holding them up and being proud of the fact that people who represent your country are quitters. And because they quit, that they're now brave. Right? These kind of men. Now, you see, this is what happens with political songs. I'll go on a tangent. These kind of men, right? Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. And we're now in the weak men stage. And it's going to take bad times and a hell of a lot of adversity, a lot of pain, a lot of bloodshed, and then a lot of brave men to create good times again. We really are in a strange time in society at the moment. But it's society. I mean, it's the way human race goes. You know what I mean? Civilizations rise, civilizations fall. Rome rose and Rome fell. They never ever got invaded. They actually eroded from within. It's an empire that collapsed itself. And this is what I'm happening to America at the moment.
Oh no, they'll never let go of something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you, and they won't stop till everybody's zombified. They're bumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. We're dead inside. It goes on and on, let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're hypnotized.
There he goes into that fucking crazy moment, like a Popular Monster, where he literally just go absolutely tilt and he turns into that fucking werewolf beast story. You're always gonna get that in a Ronnie Radke track.
Zombified.
You're always gonna get the madness. As per usual, this video is so fucking lit, bro. This thing is so much fire, man. It is ridiculous, and you are offending me. You're offending my OCD with those amount of cables over here, bro. Let's go. Do you think extraterrestrials were gonna come here and pick us up? Not a fuck. Not a fuck. If they can actually just tap in and be the proverbial fly on the wall on Earth, they would never come within 30,000 light years of fucking Earth, right? We're currently the dumbest fucking people in the universe at the moment, right? Well, obviously at the moment we're the only ones we know about, so we definitely are.
Now everybody's zombified. They're pumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. They're dead inside. It goes on and on. Let this go. When it stops, we'll never know.
I love that part there, you know, when he like sort of eases that in with that vocal, man. Fucking hell, man. You always forget how fucking good this guy is. This guy's psychotically good, man. Might go back, sorry, Mac. Sorry, guys.
Now everybody's zombified. They're pumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde.
I love the way he actually muffles the instrumentation over there, and then he sort of like just brings it back in, like, you know, It's almost like he crossfades that back in if it's a DJ term. I won't particularly know what the actual term itself is called. But like he kind of like fades that muffled sound back in.
They're pumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. They're dead inside. It goes on and on. Let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're hypnotized. Won't stop till you're. They won't stop till we're. They won't stop till we're zombified.
Zombified.
So I got like a bit of a Mad Max feel over there, and then obviously sort of the beast being the system, the beast being the mainstream media, the technocrats, the guys that are trying to censor you, and him being the valiant hero that's going to fight it all. Great video. Fucking love this video. This track is fucking sickening. Absolutely sickening, man. It's literally, I'd put it on par with Popular Monster and Drugs. Drugs for me is what the fuck. Drugs is just stupid. Drugs and what's my favorite of Ronnie Radke's? Drugs, Zombified now, and then that one he wrote. Geez, I can't remember. I don't know if it was Champion. It wasn't Champion. It's one of the other ones. I've got 3 now that are my absolute favorite. Anyway, this shit was fucking fire. I apologize, it's a bit of a long reaction. But anyway, I love you all, man. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. Please let me know what you think of the track down below. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!